How's it going, everyone? In today's video, I'm going to show you how to install a Trick Engineering stereo stop on your KX250. And the reason why you'd want to do this is if you went ahead and upgraded to a newer front end off a 250F or a 450F, the steering stop on the stock Kawasaki is pretty small. So the Trick Engineering steering stop basically elongates the steering stop on this stock steel frame. And the reason why we need this is because the stops on the triple clamp are a little bit wider on the 250F clamp, which I'll show you that right now. All right, so here's a stock triple clamp off of the KX250 two-stroke. So when the triple clamp is completely against the stop, you'll notice how the triple clamp stays clear of the frame because the stops on the triple clamp are a lot closer together. But let me show you now on the upgraded clamp off of a 2013 KX250F. All right, here we go. This is the clamp off the 2013 KX250F. So you'll notice how already the steering stops on the triple clamp are way farther back because it's a setup for the aluminum frame. So you'll notice when I turn the clamp all the way over to one side, the clamp is not gonna clear the frame. So that's why we need the stop. So the clamp will stop like right there, which will have enough room to clear the frame there. So Trick Engineering, that's where you get it from. Let's throw this bad boy on. So one thing I did want to point out, guys, before putting this thing on, I got to give a big shout out and thanks to Travis Farrell and the guys at Trick Engineering, because Travis was the one that basically pioneered working with Trick Engineering to make this stop for the Kawasaki's. Go check his page out because he's got some pretty sick KX125 and 250 builds, and he was the one that pretty much started the movement on this Trick Engineering. So thanks, Travis and the guys at Trick. So first step, Trick Engineering include this cool little sticker that you put on the bottom side of the steering stop from the stock steel frame. So basically it just tells you where to punch the holes for the holes that you need to drill into the frame, which is super convenient. All right, so I got this little sticker cut out. I'm gonna put it on the bottom of the frame stop right there. All right, guys, here's the jam. So I don't actually have a punch to punch the two starting holes for the drill. What I'm gonna do is take a super small drill and see if I can make some starter holes for the larger drill piece. All right. I don't think that's too bad. I think that's working so far. All right, so looking a little bit closer, it looks like it did work. Because you see one hole there and a second hole there. So yeah, if you guys don't have a punch, just use a super tiny drill bit. Let me see what size I used there. Okay. That was a 1/16 size drill bit I used to drill those starter holes. Now we're gonna switch it over to the 3/16. All right, so it seems like the 3/16 drill bit is having a little bit of trouble getting through the frame. So I dropped it down to a 1/8 drill bit to see if I can kind of drill the path through and then switch back and widen up the hole with the 3/16. There we go. All right, guys, both holes are drilled into the steering stop on the stock frame there. Went pretty smoothly. So now we got the steering stop just to kind of line it up and make sure we see through. Yeah, golden. All right, so before I put these bolts in, I've done a bunch of research on these Trick Engineering steering stops, and these bolts have a tendency of loosening up and coming out. Just make sure you put some blue Loctite on the bolts before you install it. All right, guys, check it out. This thing is locked and loaded on there, ready to go. I honestly couldn't be more pumped to get this front end on. I am stoked. So here we go, throw everything back together. These top triple clamps from the 2013 KX250F aren't in the best shape, as you can see. So what I'm gonna do is, instead of keeping them black and all crappy looking, I'm gonna throw them in this bucket, which I've got acetone in. And if you guys see, I've got the top clamp that's been in there for quite some time. And the paint is literally just stripping right off it. So I'm gonna do that to the bottom clamp once I get the top clamp all buttoned up. See if I can strip this paint off. And look at it. The paint is literally just peeling right off. Hopefully these gloves work. Wow, look at that. Holy crap. Gonna have to hit them up with the Prime MX pads, so touch them up. All right, guys, well, there you have it. 2018 KX250 forks are on there, along with the Trick Engineering steering stop. Pretty pumped about that fork purchase and the steering stop, because I cannot wait to see how these things perform. So, and they look pretty sweet too. I'm gonna put a sticker over these, but all right, guys, that's a wrap. Trick Engineering steering stop, 2018 KX250F forks. Boom.